This video is very, very overdue and I'm happy to finally make it. And I've been thinking about for a while how I exactly want to make this video because there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But I just thought that I would wait until I had the sim up for at least a weekend so I could get some hours on it and kind of give my overall review of it and build breakdown. So today I bring to you our motion sim build breakdown.
Smooth, gentle, easy on the power. Full out, baby!
We've been building this for the past 3 months or so. There's a lot of components right now, and I'm having Ben in a set of Corsair right now in Ebisu drifting to kind of just simulate the motion that you do get out of this because it's pretty amazing and very overwhelming. But let's start off with the most important thing, which I think everyone's really interested about this whole entire setup. This is a motion simulator. So it's the same thing as like your regular sim that you would find, except underneath the seat here, you'll see this motion, a 3-way access. This is from DLF Reality. They offer affordable simulators. This thing out the door was about $3,000 just for their setup. And they have a 6-axis version on the website that is a little bit more expensive, but it's more for an industrial use. So this is their like at home, literally plugs into your normal wall plugins at your house. For what it is and the price that it is, I absolutely recommend it. It's tons of motion. You get a lot of feedback that is very, very similar to the car. A few add-on features that I got to the motion aspect of it is you can see these like elephant snouts coming off. That is the fan simulator. So that was an upgrade on the website for the Sims. The faster you go, the faster the fans on the computer spin and it simulates fan speed. When you have the headphones on, you're not listening to it. It's actually a really cool feature that was definitely worth the few $100. Sitting on the seat, we have the Shake Kit upgrade. It is pretty much a mat that sits under your butt that has 4 corners of like tactile touch. And you can actually almost hear it. It's kind of tough, but it sounds like little tapping. All those tappings are little force feedback that simulate what you would feel in the car. Beyond the motion that you get with the simulator, imagine like if you've ever been on a track and you go over a rumble strip, or let's say you're like going over like a bunch of like little like divots in the road, you'll feel the little like vibrations. That is what that simulates. So it's actually an extra like layer, in my opinion, of simulation added to the game. Again, $300 to add to it, 100% worth it. I ended up going with complete Fanatec options for the sim. The only reason why I did that is because they had, in my opinion, the easiest website to navigate. I was looking at Thrustmasters and a few other options out there, but Fanatec to me was the easiest out there to choose from and had the most reviews. So for the wheelbase system, we have the Direct Drive 2. It is their gnarliest package and has amazing wheel response. Something I'm very familiar with drifting, which is, in my opinion, it's very tricky to simulate what it would feel like with force feedback. They do a pretty damn good job. Beyond that, we have the Bmw Gt2 Steering Wheel. I also got a hub adapter as well, so if you want to throw on like a street wheel or like a drift car wheel, you can do that as well. Benedict's playing with the GT2 wheel right now, which is compatible with like if you want to do any other types of racing, paddle shifters, all that stuff. Great wheel, and it's really cool how they give options for like your own steering wheel and all that type of stuff. I'm going to interrupt today's video to tell you guys about Keeps. Keeps is a hair medication that helps prevent hair loss at an early age. I know what you're thinking, Teach, I'm not going to lose my hair, but the fact of the matter is that 2 out of 3 males will experience male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. And the honest truth is the best way to prevent it is to treat it before it happens. So that's what I'm here to tell you guys about today. In the olden days, you'd have to go to a doctor's office and see a doctor about this type of thing and go through that whole face-to-face experience, but now you don't have to. Keeps allows you to meet with a doctor online and get prescribed medication for your hair from the comfort of your own home. They make it super easy and they deliver medication every 3 months, so you never have to wait in line at a pharmacy or leave your house if you don't want to. As you guys know, I love my hair and I do not plan on losing it anytime soon, and Keeps is gonna make that possible. For a limited time, go to keeps.com/hunt to receive 50% off of your first order. Keeps, thank you so much for looking out for the boys. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it. We have the handbrake option, which if you're into drifting, absolutely necessary. We have the sequential and H pattern shifter. I think it's V1.5 from Fanatec. And then to finish off, we have the V3 inverted pedals. The inverted pedals are amazing. Again, one of those things that the feeling that you get from the pedals is so close to a normal car, so close to a car, it really makes this setup like one step farther in my opinion. My biggest goal with this setup was to make something feel as close as physically possible to a car driving experience. One of the biggest reasons why I did this is I wanted to practice drifting a lot more when I'm not at the track, and I wanted to have every piece be as close to something that I'd be driving in a real life situation as much as possible. Benedict is sitting in our Sparko seat that I originally was gonna get for our RX-7, then it didn't fit, and I wanted to put it in our Mark IV, it didn't fit. So I actually sold my other seat to my buddy Alex, who built the same sim setup as us. It worked out great because he bought the other seat off me, and I was left with one more expensive seat, so we went ahead and threw it in the sim. In the world of sims, you see a lot of triple monitor setups. I was originally gonna do a triple monitor, I ended up switching to the CRG9 from Samsung. I wanted to get the G9, but the G9 got pushed back because they were having some recalling issues with it or whatever. So we went for the 49-inch, 144 hertz Samsung CRG9. Absolutely epic monitor. It has a little bit of Boeing effect when you do like in car like Benedict is right now, and it kind of screws with you a little bit. So depending on what car I'm in, I'll switch around from settings, but 10 out of 10 would recommend if you had the budget for it. Behind it, this was actually a tricky setup because it's hard to get a monitor stand that can support something this big. And I actually found this from Next Level Racing, and it's actually for a TV, but I was able to modify the back bracket to fit the monitor and get the height just right. And I was also able to mount some certain things to it and kind of help with wire management, which was awesome. And also shout out to Calvin. Calvin, give yourself a little love for the wire management, because if you're looking at this, you're like, wow, TJ did a really good job with wire management. That wasn't me. That was Calvin. He's a genius with that. Calvin spent like 2 hours wire managing this once we were done. So huge shout out to Calvin for the help. Over here in the back, this is a PC that my buddy Alex built for me. And I'm gonna list all the specs down below because, to be honest, one, I didn't build it, and two, I don't know all of them off the top of my head. But as you can tell, it's hydro cooled. We have a 2080 Ti and an i9-9900, and it is also overclocked. But again, I'll put all the information down below if you guys want to check that out. This is supposed to be wall mounted. I think at one point I will have it mounted here on the wall, and I have the brackets and stuff for it. But then to wall mount it, we have to get the wire extensions and rewire a whole bunch of stuff and do wire management again, which, to be honest, the sim's up and running right now, and I don't want to put it on pause. So eventually this will be wall mounted and it will have its glory up on the wall, and it'll be totally amazing and epic, but that's for another day. This is something that I didn't even really realize I needed because this is a computer, not a console. So I picked up a little cheap mouse and keyboard stand off of Amazon. It was 50 bucks. And I found this wireless keyboard that is tactile, makes all the nice little noises that you'd want, and it's super easy. And we have a little Razer wireless mouse. We still have a second monitor on the way because this is gonna be our streaming home when we stream with the racing sim. So we still need to set up another monitor right here, which I'm still figuring out. I don't know if it'll be that. I was looking at a 34-inch rather than a 49, but needless to say, we're gonna get another huge big curved monitor to choreograph the stream and controls and OBS and the actual game settings. Unfortunately, our VR headset isn't here yet, but we also have the VR as well. At the end of the day, we kind of did a rough tally up of where we ended up coming dollar-wise on this sim. And I'll give you guys a second. If you're watching at home, if you want to give a little second, say right now to yourself, how much did this cost? 3, 2, 1. Costed roughly $22,000. I know that sounds like a lot. And it is a lot. And there is a bunch of different ways to do this yourself and have it cost way less. I mean like dramatic, like $20,000 less. There are different ways to do this, but I wanted to build something that wasn't limited by budget, and I wanted to build something that was the best of the best that was physically available at this time. That was my goal for this build, and I'm super happy with it. Keep in mind too, about like $7 grand of that is just for the PC itself. And because I plan on streaming and having multiple cameras and running all this and everything, the computer has to be pretty beefy. So for those that are not in the PC world, it sounds kind of ridiculous to have one thing cost so much money when there are other ways to do this, but the PC itself was 7 or 8 grand. The simulation itself, once it was shipped, all the extras was close to about 4,400 bucks. All the Fanatec items were close to another 2,800 bucks. The actual like monitor itself was over 2 grand to get it here. The seat itself was about 3 grand. And there's a bunch of extra pieces here to there that really added up the price of this build. But like I said, definitely worth it, but it was very, very expensive. This is the shake kit pad I was talking about. Looks kind of bunk because the seat is so nice and you put this like pad on it. But in each corner, there are these tactile like receptors that click and make simulation, and it's absolutely amazing. So if you're considering buying it 100%, I would recommend doing so. I'm not technologically advanced enough to be able to drop in the footage in which I'm playing on screen for you guys to see because our OBS isn't set up yet for our stream. streaming and stuff, but I do quickly want to give you guys a little rundown of what it looks like, because one of the things that is absolutely crazy that I think really, like, when we felt it for the first time was bonkers, and it was 100% worth it, because to be honest, when I was building this, I was like, I really hope this doesn't suck, because if it sucks, it's gonna be a big waste of money and I'm gonna feel like a big idiot. We drove, was it Monza, Ben? Silverstone. Drifting is one thing. Drifting feels very cool on this, but nothing, and I mean nothing, is crazier than driving an F1 car on this setup on an actual F1 track. It does such a good job at simulating G's and the type of motion that you would feel if you were, I mean, obviously it's not like you're driving an F1 car, but it just does such an incredible job. And the amount of feedback you get from the motion sim and the drift car versus like going an F1 car where you're going 8 times as fast is incredible. And the first time we felt that, we were all tripping out.
Oh, baby!
I'll give you guys a little example of what it looks like and what it will feel like. And if you want to see more about this and you're still interested and you want to see more gameplay, follow my Twitch. It'll be down below. Calvin's is also there too. And hopefully he'll stream here. That'd be really cool if you streamed here, Calv, but that'd be epic. We're in a Ferrari F1 car. I think I have all of the dynamic controls turned off, so I'm probably gonna fly off track. Like I said, notice how fast we're going. You can hear those fans going right now. Normally you're wearing headphones, so you wouldn't have to listen to that, but the forces you feel while, oh my gosh, we have all the ABS is turned off. I'm gonna look like a real idiot right now. The motion you get out of driving the F1 car with this thing makes it worth it. Like, if you're gonna get the motion sim, you have to drive an F1 car because it is crazy. I'm gonna go off track, Oh God. And then you dive bomb in, baby. Take it to the right, Leclerc coming up. Oh God, I'm gonna crash. But you guys get the point. For a sim that is one of the cheaper ones on the market. Also, my buddy Taylor Ray, shout out to him because he got this motion sim first. And before I got it, I was really hesitant. So I hit up Taylor and I was asking him for a certain, for opinions and whatnot. He was the first one that I know of to bite the bullet on this sim without having any experience on it. So shout out to Taylor because he's the one who found this and I asked him about it. I've been logging hours on this thing, whether it's driving GT3 cars, F1 cars, or just doing drifting in Ebisu at night. It's been epic. I'm gonna be streaming it very, very soon, which is pretty much the whole point is why I did this, because I wanted to have a streaming setup and have a different level of streaming rather than just playing COD. I could do something that a lot of you guys want to relate to. And this is like my V1 setup. This was my tour video. I wanted to show you what we had and where it is at the moment, because I know throughout the years this setup will only get crazier, and we have some bigger plans to come with this, but I'm gonna enjoy this where it is. But I want to thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Hopefully after watching this, if you guys were on the fence about any of these products that you guys saw today, you bite the bullet on them, because I highly recommend them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna get back to racing and I'll see you next time. Peace out and keep moving forward.
Brakes, don't hit the red bumps. Use all the track. Fuck! God damn it! That one fucks me up. God damn it. Coast. Power on. A 133. I'll smoke that. Easy. Oh, smooth, gentle. Easy on the power. Power out of the corner. Use all the track.